We're 3 full days away from the end of Traitors Season 2. Last time, a safety chain rocked the castle as it replaced the round's banishment vote. It was down to Darla having to save either Christephanie or Nita, and she ended up saving Christephanie. With Nita eliminated as a traitor, the 6 remaining faithful slept like babies as none of them would get murdered. With Olivia and Christephanie remaining as 2 traitors, will they still gun after each other or will they finally work as a duo? In the breakfast room, Penelope sits alone, enjoying her breakfast. Soon after, Sasha enters, greeting Penelope. As Sasha sits down, she mentions how great it felt to finally eliminate Nita yesterday. Penelope agrees and says Darla finally did something useful for the team. In confessional, Sasha says that she's entering this final 8 feeling great about her position. At the moment, people see Christephanie and Darla as the 2 players on the outs based on yesterday's safety chain. However, things can change in an instant. Although she's targeting Christephanie, the other faithful might have other plans in mind. We've seen many banishment blindsides so far. Back in the room, Darla comes in next and sits down next to Sasha. Sasha then turns to Darla, asking her how she's feeling about this final 8. Darla then says that she feels like people need to look in new directions for this final traitor. Today might be their only chance at finding the last traitor before they automatically recruit someone. In confessional, Darla predicts that there is 1 traitor remaining. Since they couldn't murder or recruit last night, this is the faithful's chance at removing the last traitor. If they do, they all get an opportunity to recruit themselves as a new traitor. If that's the case, she'd do anything to become a traitor since she can try murdering at least 1 person she distrusts. Back inside, Emma comes in, followed by Christephanie, and then Yasu. Christephanie then says that she'd like to throw Olivia's name out there as a possible suspect. She feels like Olivia has been super under the radar this season. In fact, she voted for Nita during the Danielle banishment and Nita voted her back. It easily could have been a traitor-on-traitor moment. In confessional, Christephanie says that she's sticking to her guns. She has to get Olivia out to make herself look like a faithful. Once Olivia goes, people will probably look at Emma and Penelope as possible traitors since they have defended Olivia in the past. Back inside, Darla says that she can see a world where Olivia or Amira are the final traitor. Both of them have avoided heat most of the season. Yasu says that he trusts Olivia over Amira, but Emma cuts in and says she doesn't think either of them are traitors. If she has to be honest, her suspicion is leaning towards Darla. Darla smirks and asks why she would eliminate Nita in that case, and Emma says that it would make her look really innocent. In confessional, Emma says that she's pretty certain Darla is the final traitor. She betrayed all of her traitors because she wanted to be the last one standing. If Darla survives this next banishment, all she can hope is she's not recruited because Darla will throw her under the bus in an instant. Back in the room, Olivia walks in, and Amira comes in as the last player. In confessional, Amira says she's relieved the faithful one with yesterday's chain of safety. As of now, Christephanie seems like the most likely traitor, but it literally could be anyone. It could be someone nobody ever suspected, which includes Yasu and Penelope. The faithful will have to look at every single player rather than tunnel on certain individuals. After breakfast, the players have time to chat, and Christephanie talks with Amira and Sasha, telling them that she really thinks Olivia is a traitor. Amira says that she's on board with questioning the players who haven't had their name brought up as traitors yet, and Olivia is included in that. Her name only came up from a traitor, who was Nita. Sasha says that she's struggling to figure out who the last traitor could be. She feels like it's someone they'd never expect. In confessional, Sasha says that Christephanie would be an easy vote for her tonight. However, she almost wants to think it's someone the faithful would never expect to be a traitor. The only person she 100% trusts is Yasu. Everyone else will have to remain on her radar. Maybe it really is Penelope or Emma and they've acted chaotic on purpose. Maybe it's Olivia or Amira, the two people who have remained neutral in the first half of the season. Or maybe it really is Darla or Christephanie, the two most suspected players. Back with the three, Christephanie asks Sasha who her top 3 suspects are, and Sasha takes a moment to think about it. She says she has to be honest and say her name as one since she has targeted her most of the season. Darla is another person she's unsure about. As for her third, she's thinking it could be Olivia since she has been super under the radar for half the season. It's a strategy a traitor could use to increase their survivability. Amira says she's intrigued to question Olivia more tonight. That could be a traitor hiding in the shadows. If they press her a bit more, she might slip. In confessional, Christephanie breathes out and says she's ready for this traitor war to continue. It's her versus Olivia tonight. Whoever stays will probably have a good shot at winning this season since everyone else will target new people. In another room, Yasu talks with Penelope, telling her that the two of them plus Emma and Sasha need to team up in this endgame. He truly believes they are 4 confirmed faithful. Penelope agrees, stating that they should find this next banishment pretty cut and dry. It's between Darla and Christephanie. If they vote out one as faithful, the other will go tomorrow. In confessional, Penelope says she's not here to play the nice, bullshit game that some other people want to play. If money is on the line, she wants it in her pocket. Christephanie and Darla are just 2 people in her way of that win. She doesn't care if they cry how unfair it is that they are being targeted no matter what. Too bad. Darla then enters, asking if she can join in. Yasu says sure, though Penelope stays silent. Darla then tells Yasu and Penelope that she's going to question Olivia tonight because it's very possible she had a traitor war against Nita the other night. In confessional, Darla says she's torn with who this last traitor could be. She's leaning towards Olivia because she trusts Christephanie, but it also could be one of the people deemed 100% faithful. It could be Penelope, or Emma, or Yasu, or Sasha. The only people she doesn't see as a traitor are Christephanie and Amira. Back inside, Yasu says he personally can't let go of Christephanie as a suspect. He has been after her for 90% of the season, yet she's still here. Darla sighs and says she doesn't think Christephanie is a traitor. She wouldn't defend Nita so hard because it would put such a huge target on her back. Penelope comments how she doesn't really know Christephanie's intelligence level, but it's possible she's just a dumb traitor whose goal is to get to the end with as many traitors as possible. Plus, her and Nita were tight friends. Just like herself and Emma. Just like Yasu and Sasha. None of them want to turn on their close friends because they have trust in them. Darla says she doesn't like this logic, but Penelope interrupts and tells Darla that it's too bad she doesn't like the logic. The only reason she thinks this is because she doesn't have a friend in here anymore. In confessional, Penelope says she's sick of Darla's constant whining about feeling left out in this castle. This is exactly why herself and Emma want her gone as soon as possible. Outside, Sasha talks with Olivia, filling her in that Christephanie is spreading her name around. Olivia smirks and says she already knows. Christephanie has always been siding with Nita, and now that they know Nita was a traitor, Chris has nothing else she can do but put blame on her. Sasha says she doesn't believe Christephanie at all, so there's nothing to worry about for tonight's banishment vote. In confessional, Olivia laughs to herself, claiming how bad of a player Christephanie is in this game. She's a horrible liar. She's clockable from a mile away. There has never been an opportunity for them to rekindle their relationship, simply because Christephanie has been blinded by Nita this whole season. They could have worked well as a traitor duo, but she sided with the enemy and now it's haunting her. In another conversation, Olivia checks in with Emma and Amira, asking them if they are still good to go with tonight's banishment of Christephanie. Emma scratches her head and says she was actually looking forward to banishing Darla. Nothing about Darla strikes her as innocent. Amira admits she can't trust Darla, but she also sees a world where Chris is a traitor. Olivia says she feels like it's right under their noses. Christephanie has constantly sided with Nita. They never voted for each other. It all adds up. Emma breathes out and says she's not going to be upset if Chris goes home tonight, but she doesn't want her vote to flip off of Darla. It feels weird to vote Christephanie after claiming time and time again that Darla needs to go. In confessional, Emma admits she's voting more personally against Darla. Even then, Darla could technically be a traitor, so it doesn't bother her to vote her out. If Christephanie is voted out tonight and she's faithful, it'll confirm so much to the faithful and finally get them all to vote out Darla. It's now time for the faithful crown ceremony. Everyone is seated in the courtyard and are told that everyone is eligible for tonight's shield. Everyone will vote to pass on a shield and everyone will have a vote at tonight's banishment. With that, everyone is asked to secretly vote, and in confessional, Emma says she's obviously voting her bestie, Penelope. Penelope's confessional is the same, as she locks in her vote for Emma. In Yasu's confessional, he puts his vote onto Sasha, and Sasha's confessional is the same as she puts her vote onto Yasu. In Amira's confessional, she claims she's voting for Sasha as one of the most confirmed faithful in here. In Darla's confessional, she votes for Amira, and in Christephanie's confessional, she too votes for Amira. She feels like there's no reason to murder Amira tonight, and she already agreed with Darla earlier that Amira should have the shield as one of the more obvious murder choices for the traitors. In Olivia's confessional, she puts her vote on Amira, claiming that she wants to build more trust with her. Amira will likely tell her about her shield, and she can tell Amira she voted her, locking in a final two deal with each other. Back outside, the votes are in, and someone may or may not have a shield at this moment. In confessional, Amira cheers as she finds out she won the shield for tonight. This feels great because it means people actually do trust her as a fellow faithful. It means people won't be voting her out anytime soon. Nor can she be murdered now. It's finally night, meaning it's time for the next banishment to occur. Everyone sits inside of the round table room, and as a reminder, everyone is voting tonight. The discussion time begins, and Amira starts off by stating how tonight's round table should air out any leftover suspicions that people have that has not been outed yet to the entire group. She can in fact start and state that she heard Olivia's name going around from a few people. Before, it was only Nita. Now, it's Christephanie and Darla. She just wants to hear Olivia's thoughts and perhaps any extra comments from Chris and Darla. Olivia then speaks up, claiming that she already knew Christephanie was going after her. Her and Nita have been tight since early in the game and never voted each other. Now that Nita's gone, her plan is to do what Nita couldn't do, and that's vote her out. Christephanie smirks and says she's making it sound like a revenge plan of sorts. In reality, she thinks Olivia is a traitor because of how the previous banishment discussion went down. Nita went after Olivia out of the blue, perhaps betraying her own traitor. Olivia cuts in, asking Christephanie why she sees it as a betrayal, and Christephanie responds, telling Olivia that she voted Nita during the James banishment. It likely pissed Nita off that she sided with James on the traitor team over Nita. Olivia laughs in response, calling this claim a bit ridiculous. Everyone already established that Nita manipulated her and Darla to vote Pablo during the twist banishment round. Therefore, she personally does not see a case against her or Darla at this point. Darla then asks Olivia if she's clearing her name tonight, and Olivia says yes. She says there's no reason to vote her or Darla tonight. If anything, people should vote out Christephanie because she associated herself with Nita way more. She never voted her out and never questioned her true role, likely because she knew Nita's role this entire season. Emma then decides to jump in, waving her finger around and saying she's not done with Darla yet. She still cannot get over the fact that Darla has been jumped by every traitor so far. To her, it seems like she's the one who pissed off her team and barely managed to survive. Darla tells Emma that she apologizes if she hurt her feelings this season, but this game shouldn't be taken personally. They are playing a game for money. It makes no sense to vote out a faithful if the whole premise of this game is to vote out traitors. In fact, she'd like to challenge Emma and call her a traitor for constantly going after her. Emma laughs out loud and Penelope joins in, calling Darla a silly little girl. Darla looks at Penelope, asking her if she's right or wrong about the claim against Emma, and Penelope tells Darla she's clearly grasping at straws at this point. There's no reason for anyone to accuse Emma when she's the most genuine person in here. Her feelings spill truth. Darla then says that it might be a very wild, out there theory, but she really believes Emma is a possible traitor. Wasn't she the one to defend Haley early on? Emma scoffs and tells Darla that she didn't think she'd be this dumb of a player. There's no reason to bring up the first and second banishments because she suspected Nita all that time. Christephanie then jumps in though, correcting Emma that she actually didn't target Nita at that time. She went for Jeff and then Darla. Emma apologizes and once again states that her reasons for thinking it's Darla are valid. Everyone defended a traitor accidentally at some point. Penelope cuts in to back Emma up, recalling Emma feeling odd about Haley at points, but not taking much action because she had other priorities. She knows Emma didn't purposely defend a traitor. She actually never properly defended Haley. She just gunned really hard for Darla at the time. Amira then says she wants to cut in real quick because they never got to hear from Sasha and Yasu tonight, and she really wanted everyone to participate in the discussion. Yasu says his vote is currently up in the air because he really doesn't know how to take all of this information in. He went in wanting to vote for Christephanie, but now he's unsure how to truly feel about Emma. Emma immediately drops her jaw, unable to believe what's going on. Sasha then says she personally doesn't see any reason to vote out Emma tonight. In her eyes, it's between Christephanie and Darla. That's how she sees it. It's clear based on the information that Nita was a traitor. Those two have worked somewhat closely with Nita. Darla shakes her head and says she did not work with Nita. That's straight up wrong. The discussion is now over. Everyone will now need to write down the name of the player they'd like to see banished tonight. In confessional, Yasu says he's really lost at this point because he truly thought it had to be one of Darla or Chris, but after Darla's points against Emma and Emma's weak defense, he doesn't know if perhaps everyone is being misted by Emma and it's actually her this whole time. Back in the room, everyone locks in their votes, and Yasu is asked to go first. He shows his vote for Christephanie, stating that he almost switched his vote last minute. Perhaps Jeff was right on day 2. Perhaps Emma tried to get the guys out first as a traitor strategy. She technically emotionally manipulated Jonathan out of the game a few rounds ago. Maybe on purpose if she gave him the nurse role. Darla is then asked to go next, and she says that she's voting someone she's been waiting to vote for in ages, and that's Emma. Maybe she's dead wrong, but she's listening to her gut after everything she had to say. We're now at 1 vote Christephanie, and 1 vote Emma. Christephanie goes next, showing her vote for Olivia. She doesn't like how Olivia threw her name around after Nita's banishment. It makes her think Olivia just wanted to find a new target to focus on so other people can dogpile. Olivia goes next, unsurprisingly showing her vote for Christephanie. There's nothing innocent about Chris tonight. Or even from any banishment. That's now 2 votes for Christephanie, 1 vote Olivia, and 1 vote Emma. 4 votes left. Emma goes next, and she sighs as she shows her vote for Christephanie. She wanted to vote Darla tonight, but she's realizing she has to vote as a team player and not individually. She already suspected Chris before, so she's fine writing her name down tonight. Sasha goes next, and she apologizes to Christephanie as she shows her name, calling her a fighter this season who went through a lot. She should be proud of herself. Christephanie has the majority of votes, but we need to see the last 2 votes. Amira is next, and she shows her vote for Christephanie as well. There's too much evidence stacked against her, so it doesn't make sense to vote for anyone else tonight. Penelope is the final vote, and she reveals her vote for Christephanie. She feels pretty good about this result. She feels like Christephanie has to be the last traitor here. With that, Christephanie is banished with 6 votes and must now head to the front to reveal her role. She then walks up and Darla rolls her eyes. Christephanie then stands at the front, telling everyone that she's really happy with herself this season. Making it to top 8 as a badass player is a huge accomplishment to her. It has been hard for her majority of the season, and that's because of how intelligent some of these faithful have been this season. She then tells everyone she has been a traitor all this time. Everyone immediately begins cheering, and Amira immediately gets up to hug Sasha. Yasu then hugs Sasha afterwards, calling her the greatest faithful of all time. Christephanie blows a kiss to everyone and leaves, and Emma calls out "Great game" to Christephanie. Penelope then yells out loud that they are all going to celebrate with vodka tonight. In confessional, Sasha is amazed at her skill in the game. She never thought she'd be the traitor clocker. All this time, she accused Christephanie, and she was right. Now that she knows she can trust her gut in here, she needs to focus onto a new target. If there aren't any traitors right now, she might even get the opportunity to recruit herself as a traitor. In another confessional with Olivia, she smiles and sighs to herself. It's bittersweet to be the last traitor standing. She's up against so many smart faithful. In a way, she has to clean up the mess Nita and Chris left her since they were in control of the last few murders. They left her with the smartest players in here. There's a recruitment coming up, and nobody expects it coming. They all think there are 7 faithfuls in this room. In reality, there will be 5 after tonight. After taking out yet another traitor from the game, the faithful all celebrate with drinks in the bar upstairs. Penelope shakes her mixer around and starts singing her favorite songs from the 1980s. Emma then yells how it's such a good time to be alive. In confessional, Emma pats herself on the shoulder for being such a great team player. People kept calling her selfish this season, but nobody can make that claim anymore. Now that Chris is gone, there should be an opportunity for the faithful to compete to become a traitor. Assuming there somehow isn't a 5th traitor in here. Sasha then asks the group if anyone can remember a night where nobody got murdered, but nobody says anything. She then says that Chris was most likely the final traitor, so now they will get to compete to become one, likely tomorrow. Penelope straight up says she's not gunning for that role because the faithful are way too good at this point. She wouldn't mind if Darla volunteered, though. Darla rolls her eyes and says she's really glad Penelope and Emma are showing their true colors as people. It was never a game to them. They really loved picking on her this season. Emma huffs in response, telling Darla to let them all enjoy this winning moment for the faithful. She's acting like the Grinch on Christmas morning. Darla then tells Emma to look in the mirror before calling someone else the Grinch. Emma laughs in response, telling Darla she can't talk about people being bullies if she's making snarky comments herself. The world doesn't revolve around her. In confessional, Amira admits that she had a few more sips of alcohol than she planned because she knew a fight would go down between Darla, Emma, and Penelope. Many people are sick of their drama at this point. As the moon slowly rises, all players begin heading to bed, expecting a peaceful night. Unbeknownst to them, there will be a recruitment tonight. In the traitor turret, Olivia stands cloaked and then takes off her hoodie. She breathes out and says out loud how good of a shot she has at winning this game now. She doesn't have her 2 obstacles anymore in Nita and Chris. A note then falls from the ceiling, and Olivia picks it up to read it. She then finds out that she'll have to recruit a faithful onto her team. This is the only recruitment she gets. If the person declines to join the team, they will be murdered instead. In confessional, Olivia says that she has to be very smart with her decision tonight. If she picks the wrong person, it might be the reason she loses this game. Back in the turret, Olivia starts stating her options out loud. Her first thought was to recruit Amira because the 2 of them have a trusty relationship. Amira would 100% be a loyal traitor to her. The two of them can easily make it to the end, and she doesn't mind splitting the money with her. Unless of course, Amira takes a shot at her. The other option in mind is Darla. There's nothing Darla can do right now to survive. Emma and Penelope want her gone as soon as possible. Recruiting Darla is more of a throwaway to get her voted out as a traitor. Plus, the faithful might assume one of Sasha or Emma recruited Darla because they feel safe enough to put her on the team as a throwaway. Olivia then breathes out as she considers her two options. She doesn't want to choose anyone else because they all have final two deals. Olivia then says she's recruiting. Amira immediately stares at Olivia in shock, and they both start laughing with each other. Amira tells Olivia she's amazed the traitor is her. She actually thought there were no traitors remaining. Olivia knew it would be a shock. Everyone was under the impression there were 4 traitors instead of 5. She admits she was recruited through a twist on day 1, so the game started with 5 traitors. Amira, who is still amazed by this, tells Olivia that they can easily reach the end together. These duos will need to go after each other, and that's something she's confident she can do. In confessional, Amira holds her face in surprise, unable to grasp at the fact that Olivia was a traitor all this time. However, this is perfect. She's now a traitor with Olivia, and it guarantees her own safety for the rest of this game. She just needs to outlast these banishment votes in whatever way possible. Amira gives Olivia a hug, telling her that they are going to have to make some big moves to get these strong duos out of the game. If anything, they need Darla in the finale. She's their sheep from now on. Olivia smiles and tells Amira she loves her. In the final confessional of the night, Olivia says that she trusts Amira will stay loyal to her. She has some control over these duos, which is something the two of them need right now. It's the only way Emma, Penelope, Sasha, and Yasu will be voted out. The end is near, and she's not prepared to lose.